Hello everybody, good afternoon. Welcome to my presentation. My name is Patrik Meyer and I'm Managing Director at Deutsche Bank Park in Frankfurt, Germany. And I'm very happy to tell you all about the major changes which we had to go through in the year 2020. And I will just start with a small introduction of myself. I used to be a professional drummer, found out that I probably won't make it to the top. And so I decided to go backstage and work in the industry, but on the other side of the stage, which is then at a concert promoter, working in the financial department, doing settlements for shows like the Rolling Stones, like Luciano Pavarotti and Michael Jackson. And so I got started in that industry on the concert promotion side, and then took over the responsibility for the financial department at the Lanxess Arena, Cologne Arena, which was just under construction and up to date. Still, it's Germany's largest indoor arena with 18,000 seat capacity, and that opened back 1998, and that was my step into venue management. Besides this, I did consulting for other indoor arenas such as SAP Arena. I did consulting for the National Stadium in Warsaw. Also worked for the UEFA Euro 2012. We did the Race of Champions as a sports promotion. We did friendly matches with Real Madrid. And so yes, that was all along with my job at the Commerzbank-Arena, which since 2005 I was the managing director of that football stadium and still am, just because this summer we had those major changes. It has a different name, but we will come to that later. I just want to go back really to the beginning of the stadium, and that goes all the way back to 1925 when our stadium was opened as the Waldstadion, and it was really in the good old days with a sports park all around the stadium, and that was like for a long time the home for people in Frankfurt to enjoy sports and do sports themselves and see football matches and all this. In the years around 1960, the stadium looked like this, and then there was a major renovation in 1974 for the Football World Cup, which was hosted in Germany, and actually the opening ceremony of the Football World Cup in 1974 was held at Waldstadion, and so this stadium and the name Waldstadion has quite a big tradition for the fans of the German team, as well as, of course, as the fans of Eintracht Frankfurt. In 2002, the city of Frankfurt started to renovate, or let's say to build a new stadium on the same ground as Waldstadion. And so in 3 years of construction time, that new stadium was built. And you see, during the whole process of building the new stadium, there was still played football and even American football during that time. So it was quite a tough construction. You see here really funny photos. I can't imagine this today again, but at the time that was necessary and it was done. In 2005, the stadium opened for the FIFA Confederations Cup. Very special tournament, actually one of 3 FIFA tournaments which the stadium has seen. 2005, the Confederations Cup, 2006, the FIFA World Cup, and 2011, the FIFA Women's World Cup. So really, we have done it all. And so quite a story that we have hosted all FIFA tournaments in such a short time. And it is something we are proud of. Of course, our home team, Eintracht Frankfurt, is playing at our stadium for the last 15 years. And very successful in the last few years, winning the German Cup and so on. So it's quite a very popular team in Germany. And as you see, the stadium is full, and that is actually for most of the games before we had this pandemic. We have a history in concerts, of course. I met my good old friends from the Rolling Stones again. Until last year, we had Pink as one of our last concerts for that year. So yeah, it's quite a long history and long list of international and national artists which came to our stadium. We used our stadium as a large living room and watched television together with 50,000 people. In this case, it was the final of the FIFA World Cup 2014. And yes, of course, we know the result and we are very proud of this event because it has been, one of the most special ones in those last 15 years. We also use the stadium outside and we actually do it in a really big way. So this is a business center event, really big one for 40,000 people, and it took place in 2015. It was a corporate anniversary party, something like that. Other highlights had been a boxing match with Vladimir Klitschko, the largest handball match, a world record up to date, and the world record for the largest magician show. We did that in 2016 with German magicians Ehrlich brothers. And then we did an ice hockey game in the middle of the summer. So that was like a very special event as well. So we do everything which is possible or not even possible. We really want to make it happen. And so we aim to have as many events as possible. That is our DNA. In 2019, we did one very special setup, which we, in Germany it's called Querbühne. So the stage is on the long side of the stadium, so it's a smaller capacity, but we were able to do 4 shows within 2 weekends, and that has been something which is not usual for German stadiums, and we are very proud as well that we kind of started a new setup, and this is going to be used next year and the following years for typical mid-sized German artists and so on. So this is something which we developed in the past. So enough of the history. What did we go through in 2020? The major changes, first of all, the old operations company, Stadium Frankfurt Management, which was a joint venture of Sport5 and Apleona, a facility management company. This contract ended on 30th of June, and the city of Frankfurt decided to have a new operator, or let's say tenant, who runs the stadium, and that is Eintracht Frankfurt Stadium Management. And so that is the major change from a private operator. It changed to Eintracht Frankfurt, but the city took a more active role. And so the city of Frankfurt is actually running the maintenance, the technical facility management. And so it's a kind of a joint venture operation between the city and the club since the 1st of July. Our naming rights sponsor, Commerzbank, changed as well. It changed to another bank, to Deutsche Bank, and that contract is for the next 7 years. And in the middle of a pandemic, it's quite an achievement to change the naming right, and we are very proud that a bank decided in the middle of that crisis to take the new contract for our naming right. And then finally the catering contract, which was held by Aramark for the last 15 years. There was a procurement done, and the winner was a company called Supreme Sports Hospitality, which is actually a joint venture of Koflein Company and Casual Foods, both catering companies from the region. And so in general we can say from a private operator it changed to a city club combination. The naming right stayed in the banking business, and the catering contract went from a global player to a quite local company, and that is something which is these are the major changes, let's call it like this. So I have some photos that easily describe the work that had to be done. Of course, we had a naming right sponsor with a naming right logo on top of our roof, 106 meters long. So that had to be removed, and within 6 weeks we put up a new logo and a new signage to make it look like Deutsche Bank Park. And that was a big project. And this summer we didn't have much other things to do, so that was one of the things which was done, the change of the naming right. I have another photo. You can see the old one yellow, the new one in blue. and even with the roof closed. Yes, that was some tough work because yeah, it involves a lot of city and you know, like authority involvement and so on. But within 6 weeks, we got it done. Yes, then we are working, of course, on a major stadium upgrade. Let's call it, yeah, renovation. The stadium, as I explained earlier, it has been opened 1925. For almost 50 years, there was not much done in the stadium. Then for the World Cup 1974, there was a major renovation already. Then, good 30 years later, there was the kind of the new construction of the stadium, how we know it today. For the World Cup 2006, or the Confederations Cup 2005. So since 2005, the stadium is in the same look and design, of course. But yeah, today we thought and we think it needs improvement, especially in the digital. In the digital part, we really need to improve the stadium. It has been, in some of the areas, it has been quite outdated, and so a digital renovation is the first step. So let's look at the things we are planning to do, or we are already in process. So of course the stadium will have a full Wi-Fi coverage. It's unbelievable that we didn't have it before, but now it's going to be done. Of course we will change the stadium floodlight to an LED floodlight within the next years. We will have, or we have, a new video cube. We will have LED boards for the upper bowl. We have a small part. We had that done a few years ago, but now we will change the whole upper bowl with LED boards, and there will be digital upgradings in the VIP area, more screens, more information, and so on. And then let's say that was the basics, and then it's a kind of a comfort level. We will have a new payment system installed. That's going to be working for the next season, for the season 21-22. We invested in LED lights to, let's say, present the stadium at night and for events. That is like an architectural design light. We will invest in a new sound system, a new digital signage system, and we will invest in new VIP areas. There's a lot of space at this stadium which is used for offices. Eintracht Frankfurt is building a new facility for all those offices so that these offices inside the stadium can be removed and can be converted into new VIP areas. So that is, all those things are in process, and as you can see, the green phase, those things are done already. The yellow ones are under construction or in process, and yeah, so it's still a lot of things to do, but we have achieved already some of those issues or points. And as you can see here, from 132 square meters, we doubled the size of the video cube to a new 276 square meter video cube, and it looks a bit different. Of course, let's say the holding structure is still the same, but the cube itself looks different in numbers. Yeah, the old one was a Philips LED screen installed in 2005 with 20 millimeters pixel pitch, a 4:3 format, actually 4 screens, and combined that was 132 square meters. The new video cube is an LG product, installed this year, 5 millimeters pixel pitch, 16:9 format, and it's actually one screen because the edges are LED as well, and it's a total of 276 square meters in total. I mentioned another improvement is the LED light to lit up the stadium at night. And so from one color, which we used to have with a yellow, connected to our naming rights sponsor Commerzbank at the time, we changed the lighting system to a LED system, which can actually produce any color. And I have that in a small movie for you. Yeah, when we were testing the lights, especially with the colorful programs, we always called the colorful version, we called it the Coldplay version, because it reminded us so much of the concert, of the two concerts which we had in 2017. So I just had to put some Coldplay music with that video. So we are doing a lot of let's call it facelift things in the stadium as well. And of course, one major thing is when you change a naming rights sponsor, it also changes all your signage. And from the yellow connected to the Commerzbank signage, we changed it not to a blue one connected to Deutsche Bank. No, the Deutsche Bank actually allowed us to have the colors of Eintracht Frankfurt, which are black, white, and red. So all the new signage will be in those colors. And so that will be a major improvement, especially for the fans who say, yes, now the stadium looks much more than a Eintracht Frankfurt stadium, rather than a naming right sponsor stadium. And I have that in a very small video as well, shown what we have done in this area. Yes, even if it's a very small and little change, our stairs, they used to be painted in yellow, which was somehow connected to Commerzbank and Commerzbank-Arena, but we just changed that into white stairs, and yeah, it gives the stadium already a new look and let's say a cleaner and much more a look connected to our home team fans, which appreciate black, white and red being the colors of the club. Then within the VIP area, of course, we are going through a big renovation process from, let's say, that banker style which was built in 2005. It converts and changes into a much more modern and, let's say, sports hospitality style. And you see here just one example. This is an ongoing process, so I can't really show a lot of photos about that, but once you see the finished stadium, you can quite imagine how much work it was and how necessary it was to change something to that setup, which was 15 years old. And the VIP guests, they could expect that we do a major change in that area. As well as the concession stands, they were built as well 2005 in a way more looking for efficiency, not as much for design. And so we have done already a few of those concession stands in the last few weeks and months, and they have a completely different look with screens and let's say the whole setup is more modern. And we just hope that the fans will appreciate that as well, that this has a much more modern look, and as well behind inside the concession stand there is more efficiency possible, and so we are looking forward to use those new concession stands. What comes next? Of course, one major change is still upcoming. That, if we had known about Corona, we would have probably done it this year, but we didn't. And so this is planned for 2022, a major change in the stadium, and that is the change of the capacity from 51,500 today for the Bundesliga. We will change the stadium to 60,000 capacity, and that will be done especially in the corner where the passionate supporters are. The change is, first of all, there will be a small tribune added to that upper stand, and then the major change is, of course, the upper stand today is seats and that will be converted into another standing terrace. So this whole area will accommodate up to 20,000 fans, and so that is a major change to our stadium, and it will of course boost the atmosphere in the stadium, which is already fantastic today, but it will of course bring more and of those passionate fans to the stadium, and we're just happy that this is going to happen in 2 years. During the World Cup in Qatar, we will have the major construction during that time. So those are the upcoming and the ongoing changes, and I think we used the time of Corona quite well for those changes like the video cube, the naming right, and so on. But as well, we are an event stadium, so we wanted to do something during the time of Corona. And first of all, the German Bundesliga was allowed in September to, like for the matches, we were allowed to have spectators. So that looked like this. We had, like, for the first 2 matches, we had 6,500 for the first match, 8,000 for the second match. That was in September. Unfortunately, after that, the infection numbers in Germany went up again, and so the permission was taken away. And as you all know, football matches all across Europe are without spectators, behind closed doors at the moment, and that's the same for Eintracht Frankfurt. But during October, we were able at least to do some small events, and we did set up a small stage within our business seat configuration, and the German law, or the permissions at the time, they allowed us to have 250 people for those small events, and we did concerts of local bands and like really small events, but we just wanted to do something to support those local bands, and just to give people the opportunity to come into the stadium, see the new video cube, see the new light, and so on. So that was just a slight beginning of event business for Deutsche Bank Park, which of course for the naming rights sponsor, it would have been very sad not to have more than just those 2 football matches with spectators. And so Deutsche Bank really appreciated that we took the effort to have those small events, and here's just an overview. As I said, concerts, DJ parties, really small ones. We did a cinema evening, we did like comedy events and a talk show. So we did those 8 events within the month of October, and people really appreciated it. And we had something to do at least, which reminded us of our usual purpose to do as many events as possible. And so for 2021, we are really hoping that business comes back in the usual way. We want to go back to life. We can't really think of another summer without events. And so, plan A is the vaccine comes fast and people will have the vaccine and so on. So hopefully the summer 2021 will be as normal as we can think of. And that would be our plan A, to have events, all those events which were pushed from 2020 to 21, that these events could all happen. That would be our first goal. But if not, we would have a plan B, which we call the Back to Life plan. Last summer, of course, smaller events with like 5,000 people, they were possible during the summertime when infection rates were way lower and so on. So our plan B is to do smaller events, let's say with a capacity of 8,000, using the setup which I mentioned earlier, and that setup is something which we will use then for plan B, and it will allow us up to 10,000 fans for those events, and we will see whether it's plan A. We are very happy. When it's plan B, we still can be happy that we are able to do something at our stadium, because it's our job to bring events to that stadium. We really enjoy people coming to our stadium. Matches behind closed doors They are nice to watch, but it's not the way we like to celebrate events. We like to celebrate football. And so, yeah, hopefully 21 will bring us back to normal, back to life. And yeah, maybe all of us, we can see each other again, not just like this on a screen, just in real. So I really hope the next conference I will attend will be with you and not without you. So thank you very much for listening. My name is Patrik Meyer from Frankfurt, Germany. And yeah, I'm happy to take your questions. Thank you again.